So I'm here with a company called SERG Technologies based in London. I'm here with Sam Wilson, the CTO. So Sam, can you tell me first of all how SERG Technologies started?
Sure. So SERG Technologies is a spin-out from Imperial College, and it's really the continuation of a series of projects that were happening there, a series of PhD projects that were happening there. So I was in a lab that was looking at a specific kind of muscle sensor based on microphones, based on listening to muscle sounds, and also movement. And we span out in 2019 in order to try and get that technology somewhere useful.
So 5 years you've been going.
5 years,
and can you talk me through what it is you've actually developed? So I think you've got an example here of the device.
Sure.
The part of the device.
Sure. So this is one of our wearables. We also have a online dashboard that goes along with it. But effectively what you're holding here is an inertial measurement unit and a pair of mechanomargraphy sensors. So the inertial measurement unit in the black box there records your movement, and the white boxes that are on the bands, they record your muscle activity. And they do that with microphones. So they do that by listening to the noises that your muscles make as they contract.
Brilliant. I suppose the idea of this is you can do a much more objective and fine-grained assessment of tremor or muscle stiffness than you can with a clinical measurement.
Yeah, exactly. The clinical scale at the moment has been developed so that it can be quickly administered by a clinician just by looking. But with the sensors, we're able to get a far more accurate and objective measure of the different symptoms.
So how far progressed are you in the development of this technology? Is it still under development?
So we have a number of trials that are currently ongoing for the clinical aspects of it. So we're looking at instantaneous symptom measurement for things like DVS gene. We're also looking at continuous symptom measurement throughout the course of a day. So you would put that sensor on in the morning and just leave it on throughout the entire day. And the idea of that is to get estimations for things like medication efficacy. So are you under-medicated, over-medicated at any given time?
So that's the problem I have, is getting the right balance of medication. I don't want to be over-medicated to get dyskinesia. Equally, I want to have enough medication so I can talk to you properly now.
Yeah.
And that's quite difficult to judge that in this device and algorithm sample.
Yeah. And it will mean that when you're trying to explain that to a clinician, to your neurologist, they will be able to look and they'll be able to see a visualization of what your symptoms have been doing over the past month, rather than just having to rely on you to explain exactly what's been happening over the course of days, weeks, months.
Brilliant. So it sounds like this device has a couple of applications. One is sort of for people with Parkinson's, I guess, optimizing their treatment and their physiotherapy, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I guess it's useful for is clinical trials, so that you have a more accurate and objective measurement of the effect that a drug may or may not have on a person's motor symptoms.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Are you still doing studies? Do you still need participants to do clinical trials of this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we always need participants. We're both developing the algorithms for symptom severity, for medication efficacy, which all requires participants to come in and to help us. We're also very focused as a company on ensuring that we're developing something that's actually beneficial.
Yeah.
And we do that through talking to people.
So if people want to get involved, people watching this video, how can they do that?
So our website lists all the trials that we currently have running, and gives instructions for how to volunteer for them.
Sam, thank you very much for your time. It's really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Matthew Banger at the Biodynamics Lab at Imperial College. And Matthew, we're looking at a recording of my trial that I did with this device. Can you talk me through what we're seeing on the screen here?
So what we're looking at here is the data from our motion capture system. So it's a Vicon system. So effectively, when you came in to do these exercises, we put a number of markers over your arms, your chest, and your legs. These get tracked by the cameras, and they can basically track you in 3D and over time, and we can record how you're moving. So this technology is used in films and CGI footage and computer games, but obviously we've taken this same technology and we're just applying it for medical purposes. And what we're looking to do here is the kind of movements you're doing are obviously quite complex, and we're trying to use machine learning to see if we can actually predict these pretty complex movements from more simple sensors. So these are sensors that the SERG company have developed, and we're working with them to, in a kind of innovate grant, to collaborate to actually take basically the resources of this lab here and seeing if we can help them with some of their abilities to detect not only the overall movements, but to put kind of more kind of complex metrics to see how well you're doing these exercises.
So ultimately what you're trying to do is find which of these sensors that I was covered with are good predictors of my condition.
Yeah, so and it's to do with your overall kind of continual rehab as well. So this will give us continuous metrics about how well you're doing it. So similar to if you had a physio in the room, they would be able to kind of tweak what you're doing. So are you moving your arms as kind of enthusiastically? So are you kind of it's equivalent to say a kind of a worn sensor on your wrist looking at when you're running. So it can look at your cadence and your steps, but this, because it's quite complex movements, such as kind of, in this case, where you're bringing your kind of knee up to your hand, and it's just showing how kind of, how well you were doing it. Was it symmetric? Was it consistent in those movements? So we know that these will change with your condition and potentially also with your medication as well. So this kind of builds into the model of the SERG system to hopefully give more data to you and potentially your kind of healthcare providers as well.
And what's the ultimate application of this? I guess it's a couple of things. One is to manage my symptoms better, I guess, through physiotherapy and so on. But the other thing you can use it for is actually clinical trials of new treatments for Parkinson's.
Exactly. So it's a metric. So it's any kind of whatever you would want to record these in. So whether you're looking at changing your medication or you're looking at kind of new medications that are coming out, this can very much hopefully be a platform where we can test these things. So it's useful to an individual, but then also to potentially producers of not only clinical trials, but drugs themselves or any kind of intervention. So even if you're looking at interventions from exercises, so what exercises actually work best for you? So we can not only monitor that during your exercises, but potentially continuously in between as well.
Brilliant. Well, it looks super cool. Thank you very much for your time. I hope it's very successful.
Thank you.